Hi everybody, I am designer Cory Christopher and spring has officially sprung. I wanted to share a fun way to bring spring flowering plants into your home to create a gorgeous living arrangement. Now we need to find the perfect vessel to do this, and I thought this galvanized pail was a great option. Not only is it affordable, it is beautiful, it reminds me of farm days in the spring, and so we're going to use that as our base. So what I've done is I actually have some potting soil. This is soilless mix. So a soilless mix is made out of vermiculite and perlite and peat moss, and it's quite light, as you can see. And what that allows is all of those roots from the plants we're going to be adding to this container to actually go into the soil with ease. And we want to do that so that they're growing really, really well. So once I got the base sort of filled in, now I'm going to start looking at what plants I want to add into this. This time of year, we're going to start to see beautiful hydrangeas. Now these are not necessarily ones you're going to find out in your garden, but look how lovely those blossoms are. Very interesting colors and textures. So we're going to start with this as our base plant. So what I do is I take out the pot, and then I tickle the roots a little bit. So I'm loosening them up, as you can see here. I'm getting them so they're not traveling in a continuous circle. We want to loosen them up. And then we're going to nestle this guy towards the edge like so. Now we want to be sure that our plant, the top of the plant, is actually going about 1/2 to 1 inch below the top. That does not mean we're going to be covering that fully with dirt, but what it allows is it makes it easier when you're going to be watering. So now that you see this guy here, what I want to do is look at other plants that we can add into this. Don't be afraid to add in a tropical plant in this case. This cordyline is really, really interesting visually. It sort of sums up some of those spring colors, a little bit of hot pink there. So we're gonna add this in. The biggest thing you need to be aware of is what type of watering situation it's gonna require, as well as light. Because as you start to put multiple plants together, we want to ensure that all of them are going to live harmoniously together. So I've added that in. It's great color. I love that there's a little bit of dark purple that pulls into the beautiful hydrangea. Now I want to find a way to add in what I love, this fern. How cool is this? So I love the shape of it, the texture is different, so we're going to add that in as well. And then I think we want to nestle a couple more things. In this case, ivy is quintessential spring for me. Light, airy, it really is going to cascade over the galvanized pail, which means we're going to soften that metal look. And so we're going to take that out as well, add that in. And then finally, we're going to add these gorgeous mini daffodils. Nothing says spring like daffodils. And so that little pop of yellow is really going to make this color scheme come alive. Why not nestle that in here? Almost like it's emerging out of all the foliage. And we're gonna add one to the other side as well. Now, once we have all of these planted, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in some soil. So I'm again just backfilling in with some additional soil. Now this is really important because we want to ensure that you're tamping it down. We don't want to have any air pockets. So just continue tapping that down, making sure that you're not going too high up on the plant itself. Oh, look at that. I think those textures are looking amazing, as we can see there. Now, of course, I want to add a little bit of height in here. Now, instead of adding a plant, I'm going to take pussy willow branches that I harvested from the farm, and I'm going to incorporate them in like so. So we're just sticking that right into that soil, which is really a wonderful sort of structure. Look at that. You can add them, all clustered together. You might need to trim them, but you might also want to leave them a little bit taller, get some visual interest going, like so. Or maybe we'll add 2 more in there for finishing components. You want to be careful as you're sort of maneuvering around the actual plants themselves. And then finally, we're going to just take a little bit of regular moss and we're going to add it along the edge. This is not only decorative, because I think it adds that perfect finishing touch, but it also is going to ensure that the soil stays moist. So when you're watering this, it's not just going to get dry right away. So Within a couple minutes, with some beautiful product, I have created a spring arrangement that is going to bring a smile to your face. So I hope that inspires you this spring season. And you know what? You only need to water it about once to twice a week. So I think you're going to enjoy this for 3 to 4, heck, sometimes it even lasts 2 months. I hope you enjoy this beautiful spring container, and I look forward to inspiring you again soon.